Hello there! This is 𝐕𝐑𝐎𝐻 and this Art of Runes. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8. And today I'm bringing you another episode of the series Roomie Face Off! The brand new series in this channel in which I put two cars to race one another, kind of, in a 5-race matchup to determine which one is the superior car for this video. And today, as you can see on the thumbnail, we're gonna be doing Ford versus Ferrari, the Ford GT versus the Ferrari 330 P4. A bit of a nod to an old historic race. Before I jump into it though, if you like my content, you know what to do, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and all of that good stuff, and I do mean it. Doing that helps the channel to be discovered, for it to grow. And the more likes that a video has, the more likely YouTube is to recommend it to other people. So go ahead, do it for 𝐕𝑑𝐻 so that 𝐕𝑑𝐻 can continue doing these videos for your entertainment. But alright, so what is the deal with this? I already made a pilot episode on this series, the link is appearing in the top right if you want to see it. And over there I did Lamborghini versus Ferrari to test this entire concept and see if you guys liked it. And it seems to me that you guys were enjoying this. So here we go, we're doing another one, but this time I refined the point assignment based on the results of the race. Once again, check that video if you want to see how it started, but now I'll show you how it's going. Like I mentioned earlier, it's gonna be 5 races per car, and depending on the amount of players that I face in that race and the position that I finish at is the amount of points that I'm gonna be getting for that race. I'm gonna be logging all of that over here, and at the end it's gonna show me what is the total. The car with the most points is the one that wins. Now, real quick, if you don't know why this is so thorough, well, it has to do with the fact that in general, in races with less players, it's a little bit easier to get better results. For example, in a race with 4 people, reaching top 3 is relatively easy. Whereas in a race with 10 players, reaching top 3 is much harder because there's just so many more players. So that is why second place, for example, with 10 players is worth more than a second place with only 4 players. So you kind of get the idea. That's why this table is here. You're going to be able to see that after every single one of the races as I log the results over here. So that's how that's going to work. But we also have to check which car is going to be the one that we start with. And for that, I have a little nifty custom coin flip. And over here is going to decide between Ford and Ferrari which one is going to start. Remember that these races are going to be, I'm going to do one with one brand and then the other one with the other brand, so on and so forth. And it seems that we're starting with Ford. That's fantastic. So let me put that over here. We're starting with Ford and then we will do Ferrari. So I'll do one race with Ford, then one with Ferrari, then the second with Ford, the second with Ferrari, so on and so forth. I think you get the idea, right? And now let's look at the contenders. First we have the Ferrari 330 P4. This is a car of Class C, rank 1498 is the bracket, of course, of 1500. And well, here's all the stats of the car if you were curious about it. This is actually the car, if I'm not mistaken, that did race in the Le Mans race back in the 1960s. And that's the whole thing of the reference of this video. But it raced against the Ford GT from 2006. Yeah, I know this is the wrong year of the car, but hey, that's what was available in this bracket. Both cars are actually not only in the same bracket, but they're actually the same rank, so that's kind of nice. And yeah, this car is 40 years too new, but hey, in this game they're ranked the same, so in theory they should be sort of kind of similar in performance, but we'll see. So once again, I'm gonna start the races with the Ford GT, and you can actually see the amount of races that I have already down over here. I have 15 races, so don't worry that it says that the Ferrari was my last car. The reality is that this is my second time trying to record this video. I'll talk more about it as we do the races, but yeah, I have 15 races, so by the end of this video we should have 25 races. Remember, there's absolutely no cherry picking here. Whatever happens, that's what gets recorded. So let's start this up. And we are starting in Sector 8. Oh, you know what? I said I was gonna do this. Round 1. Fight! Yeah, each one of the rounds means that I'm gonna do a race with each one of the cars. Round 2 means the second race with the Ford GT, and then, you know, you get the idea, right? So yeah, let's see how this is gonna go. Honestly, I kinda have a thought of how this is gonna go. I believe that Ferrari might just take this because honestly, the Ford GT is kinda terrible over here in this bracket, but it doesn't matter. I am actually not super biased as to which one I want to win. You know that I'm not a big fan of Ferrari, but at the end of the day, these videos are made precisely just to have some fun and see what it is that the multiplayer experience gives to us. In the last video, in the pilot episode that I did for this series, that it was Lambo versus Ferrari, of course I was invested on Lamborghini winning, and yet Ferrari won. So I think that should give you an idea that I'm absolutely not going to be biasing these results. Oh, for sakes, man. In any way, I'm not gonna be throwing races. I'm not gonna be doing anything for my preferred brand to win. Not at all. I'm just gonna race, and whatever happened in the races, that's what gets recorded. And at the end, we're gonna tally the points and figure out which car actually wins. Now, once again, this is not an objective measurement at, oh, is this car actually better than that other car in multiplayer? No. This is more about the whole multiplayer experience, because things can be so random in multiplayer. People can push you, people can knock you down, people can wreck everywhere, and you end up winning with a terrible car. You know, everything and anything can happen here in multiplayer, and that's why I think this is fun, because it's unpredictable. We just don't know what's gonna happen, and well, whatever happens gets recorded. And that is the case, for example, in this one race. So this is a race with 6 players, and I ended up in 3rd place. So let's log that in. So over here, we entered that there were 6 opponents, and there were, or rather, I got 3rd, and I got 320 points for that race. And now it's time for the race with the Ferrari. Like I said, I'm gonna be alternating between the cars so that it's fair. The reason behind that is simply because I don't want to be locked in one lobby doing one race after another with one car, because imagine if it's a lobby with a lot of aliens, I'm gonna get a terrible results all in a row with the same car. So that's why I'm doing this, so that I end up in different lobbies with different cars and just see what happens. Now, to be fair, I think that it would have been way worse if this particular race had it been with the Ford GT, because the Ford GT does seem to have absolutely horrendous nitro duration, and at least the Ferrari seems alright. To be fair, I'm not particularly familiar with this Ferrari, because the reality is I pro'd it for this video. I had it at stock for quite a long time, but when I came up with what should be the next matchup, oh, let's do Ford versus Ferrari, and I realized that these 2 iconic cars were in the same bracket. I thought, oh, this is just absolutely perfect. So yeah, here we are, and I run out of nitro, but so far I have quite the lead. And with 6 players, that might be quite a bit of points for the Ferrari if I manage to keep it. And yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not gonna be throwing any race. I'm gonna be trying my best with every single one of the cars that I do in this entire series for all of its duration, because my objective here is not to be like, oh, Lamborghini wins over, no. The point is just to have some fun and see what multiplayer randomness allows to do. So yeah, you can rest assured that whatever happens in this race, there was absolutely no what is the word for that? There's a word for that. Intrusion? No. Occlusion. That's not it. Well, there's not gonna be any preference on my side on trying to, oh, I'm gonna make the Ferrari look bad. Look at this, I'm gonna get a 1st place with a Ferrari. And you know how much I dislike Ferrari as a whole. Though I will never deny that Ferrari as a brand has quite the racing pedigree, so I guess it kind of shows, because that's gonna be a 1st place with 6 players. All right, just to confirm and show you what I was racing against. There it is, but yeah, we got 6 players, 1st place. And then that gets locked over here. So there were 6 players, and I got a 1st place, and that's gonna be 480 points. Jesus, that's already 50% more points. No, wait, no, it's not 50%. That's like 30% more points than this. All right, neat. Round 2. Fight! Yeah, all right, so now we're in the 2nd round, because of course this is the second, we're in the second, well, yeah, I guess the word is round. Whatever, you get the idea, right? Yeah. Anyway, so now we're in London, sort of a shortish track, so that could be not too terrible for my horrible nitro Ford GT. And the Ford GT, I did upgrade it at some point in the past, but I don't drive it a whole lot because I do know that it's kind of terrible. But hey, here we go. Ooh, I see an Asterion, Mitsubishi Lancer 9th anniversary thingy, whatever. I'm doing triple tap for the acceleration, but after that, just switching to perfect nitro, because oh boy, oh, there's a wreck. And see, this is what I was saying. That's what I wanted to make clear, that this whole thing of this series again is not to determine the actual performance of these 2 cars, like which one is objectively better. No, it's just about having some fun in multiplayer and see what happens. And to be fair, that's kind of how it actually is in races IRL. If you watch any type of races, you know that someone may have the best car, but if they had a bit of a bad turn and then someone crashed into them or they pushed them a little bit, whatever thing can happen when you're doing a race. So it can still be quite a bit of a mess. Now, of course, if you're in F1 and you are Max Verstappen, that's a different story, I suppose. Whatever. Whoa, hold up. Oh, for a moment I thought maybe I could overtake this dude. Oh, Jesus! Then again, keep in mind that this is a... hello. Oh, 1st place, my man! Jesus! I guess he ran out of nitro. Man, this is a 9-player race. You know how many points is that gonna be? I don't know how many points that is, but that's a lot. So now we logged that there were 9 opponents, and I got a 1st place, 540 points. Holy moly! And now we are in the 𝐕𝐑𝐎𝐻 with the Ferrari. And as I hinted to earlier, this is actually my second attempt of recording this, and that is because I did not like the results of the first. No, I'm kidding, no. I posted it earlier on here on YouTube. If you saw my community post, that I was trying to record this thing. I had done one round, and then the server just kind of went poop. And yeah, I couldn't play it. You saw it earlier today that the servers were not working for quite a while. So yeah, fortunately, like I said, I was only in the first round, so not a whole lot of anything had happened, so that's why I had to just discard that recording and re-record. You might be thinking, DBT, why didn't you patch that first round with the next? Because I kind of completely lost track of what was happening and whatnot. And this type of videos I have to record basically in one go in order for them to be cohesive. As cohesive as I can make them, because I mean, to be fair, you know how DBT be and he forgets what he's talking about and whatnot. But yeah, so here I am re-recording everything. So yeah, and the first round that I did in the other one, I don't quite remember. I think Ferrari did get the upper hand on the very first round, but it was by barely any amount of points. So it was very, very close. So hey, whatever. But yeah, here we are re-recording, and I think I'm gonna go on the lower side for the nitro. Though if the guy on the top does the little teleporty trick over here, that might just end up biting me in the rear side. But no, he actually went on the lower route too, so that's gonna be a first place for the Ferrari. Look at that. Man, I tell you, Ferrari, even in games, seems to be good when it is about competition or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's a first place with how many? 5 opponents, right? Yeah. 5 opponents, first place. So for Ferrari, we enter 5 opponents, first place, and that's 450 additional points. Round 3. Fight! This is round 3, right? Am I miscounting? No, I think this is round 3. Anyway, if you're completely oblivious to motorsport history and you're wondering why did DBT decide to race these 2 cars in particular, well, let me tell you a little bit about the story of these 2 brands. To be fair, I don't know the whole story because I'm not super deep into motorsport lore or anything, but this is a very famous matchup between 4GT and Ferraris because what the f was that? Oh, that was like a telekinetic knockdown. Come on. I guess that's some lag or something. Oh boy, this is gonna be terrible. There's gonna be a last place for the Ford. So what happens is that back in the 60s in the Le Mans races, Ferrari was dominating. Ferrari was doing amazing and whatnot. Then I believe, if I remember correctly, at some point Ford wanted to just merge with Ferrari, rather buy Ferrari out. And you know, so they would be all in one brand and whatnot. And Ferrari was actually up for it. Ooh, did I just overtake one guy? Let's go. I'm actually in 3rd place now. Let's go. And they wanted to do that, but then Enzo Ferrari was like, yeah, but I still need full liberty of doing racy stuff and whatnot. Racy as in racing, not racial. And eventually they could not reach an agreement, and Ford was upset and was like, you know what? If Ferrari doesn't want to be part of Ford, then we shall beat them at their own game. So then Ford decided to participate in the Le Mans races, and they developed the 4GT for that. And all right, that is a 3rd place in a race of, what was it, 5 people, I think? Hey, listen, at least it wasn't last place. I thought I was going to finish in dead last, so that's something. Yeah, 3rd, well, 5 racers in 3rd place. That's going to be 5 racers in 3rd. Oh, I should put it right. There you go. 3rd place, 270 points. Let's go. And by the way, if you're curious why it's called the 4GT 40, it's because the tallest point of the car is 40 inches off the ground. So yeah, that's a very low to the ground car and all of that. So yeah, Ford designed that car and they put it to compete, and they didn't do very well, but they kept on pushing it. And spoiler alert, eventually Ford did end up beating Ferrari at the Le Mans race with the 4GT. I think it was a Mark IV that won, I don't know. But yeah, so that is kind of the story behind that. That's why these cars are kind of iconic. Like I said, the 4GT in this game, it's 40 years newer than the one that actually competed, but hey, same thing, right? So yeah, that's why I decided to make this. In fact, there is even a movie about this whole thing, and it's very, very smartly called Ford versus Ferrari. And I think it's with Christian Bale and what's that actor? Matt Damon, I think. So if you haven't watched it, I know I just spoiled it for you, but it's a very good movie to watch anyway, so you should check it out. The ending is kind of heartbreaking, but yeah. So, I'll go on this side. Oh boy, I wanted all of that. No, oh you I'm fine. I love to be, well, I'm not last place, I'm second to last. But Jesus Christ, all because I ran out of nitro. Oh man. But yeah, if you haven't watched that movie, do check it out. It's a fun watch, especially if you like cars and you like learning about that history and all of that. It's fun. I know I spoiled you the end, but not really. At least that's not the end of the movie. You'll see. But anyway, all right, that went terrible. 4th place. Thank you for knocking me down. It was Lotus 𝐅𝐅9, I think, that knocked me down. Thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. All right, so that's a 5-player race, 4th place. That's a... Oh, crap. 5-player race, 4th place, and that's 180 points. Oof. Round 4. Fight! Yep, we're in the 4th round. We're in Alps, which is actually good for the horrible nitro of my car, but hey, once again, we'll see what happens. The beauty of multiplayer is that you never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, I know I gave you a very butchered version of the story of Ford versus Ferrari. Once again, watch the movie. It's a fun watch. But yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, this is like a pretty good matchup to do for this series. And especially because I'm not yet in Elite League where I could use some Class S cars or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I need to do a matchup of cars in low brackets. I did not want to go straight up for D class. And that's when I realized, like, oh, wait a second, it's the perfect opportunity to do Ford versus Ferrari because both of those cars are in the same bracket. They even are the same rank. Like, I can do races of cars that don't have the same rank so long as they're in the same bracket. Let's say a car of, I don't know, 1679 versus a car of 1681. I can do that. But what I'm not gonna do is of different brackets. So that's why I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And even beyond perfect, because it's literally the same rank. So that is kind of neat. Now, unfortunately, I'm not gonna get a great result over here because, well, those 2 cars ahead of me are way stronger. They accelerated way better than me, and I'm still struggling with the nitro. But hey, that's a 4-player race, and that's still worth something. So let's go. I don't remember. I think this is gonna be like 200 points or something. I don't know. We'll see. Just to confirm, yeah, 4 players, and I got a 3rd place. 4 players, and I got a 3rd place. Yeah, that's exactly 200 points. Woo, 7 players for this race. That means that if I get a good result, Ferrari could really just jump ahead in the points because, yeah, this is a very good opportunity. So let's see. And yet, as I said that, like I mentioned in the pilot episode that I did, the way of the calculation of the points was different. There were only 3 considerations as to the amount of players, and that ended up putting some really weird results where you would finish in last place in a certain race, and yet you would get a tremendous amount of points just because it landed really weird in the tables. So that's why in the new one, I made it so that it considered just about every single version of a race between 4 and 12 players, and based on that, it's how it assigns the points. And honestly, even after I re-entered the data for the pilot episode of the Ford versus Lamborghini, and I did the calculation with the new table, the results were much closer to it's on the left side, much closer to reality than they showed in the episode that I published. So yeah, that shows that at least that hints me towards this being a better system to calculate the points. There might still be adjustments in the future, but so far I'm very happy with how the results turned out with this table. So yeah, hopefully this is gonna be a bit more fair in terms of the points that get assigned. And well, I'm not gonna be able to get past that 1st place, but I am absolutely secured in this 2nd place so long as I don't wreck. So let's make sure that I don't wreck. Because yeah, this can be a lot of points. Oh, look at that. The bottles are respawning. That means I'm 1 full second behind my opponent. So that's fine. That's fine. The guy behind me, it's like way farther than that. Oh good. I'm fine. This is great. Look at that. 2nd place. And like I said, I may not like Ferrari, but I will not make any brand dirty over here. All of the results are legit. So there you go. All right, so that's a 7-player race, 2nd place. So 7-player race, 2nd place. Woo, that's a lot of points. Round 5. Fight! Actually, I'm just realizing that I'm doing again round 5 in Barcelona. I think that's exactly where the last round happened on the pilot episode of this series. So that's kind of funny. The finishing round in Barcelona. But yeah, so this is the last race I'm gonna do with the Ford GT, and then one last race with the Ferrari, and we will see. But yeah, I was just having a quick look at the points that the cars have gotten. Just a quick glance. Honestly, if you're doing the math already over there with a calculator, you already know the points and whatnot. But that's why I don't show you the sum of the points until the very end to make it a little bit more like, ooh, so what didn't, oh, you mother, Jesus Christ. All right, that's gonna be a big L for this race, huh? Well, there's still an opportunity that more people are gonna wreck, that more people are gonna be aggressive against one another, and we'll see what happens. But I'm still running out of nitro, as usual, so... And then that guy steals my nitro. Yay! All right, I'm 6th. No worries. We can maybe still come back. I'm having to do as many damn... what are these called? Not 360. Flat spins, because, man, this nitro, I tell you, such a pain in the rear bumper. Honestly, I don't know. I mean... Overall, in general, the Ferrari does feel better, simply because it doesn't suffer as badly as this one does for the Nitro. So even though they're the same rank, still the Ferrari feels like a better car. But hey, can I at least overtake this dude over here? Hey, if you would like to crash or something, I would appreciate that very much. No? Okay, fine. I'll live with the 5th. It's fine. So it's gonna be an 8-player race, 5th place. Yeah, not a fantastic result. I think I know where this is going, but still, we still have to see what happens with the Ferrari race. Yeah, 8 players, 5th place. Oh, where are my points? Oh, there they are. So that's gonna be 8 players, 5th place, and that's the points. Ooh, and we're in a long race in Monaco. All right, let's see what we can do over here. Once again, at least the Ferrari doesn't have as terrible nitro as that Ford GT. What were they thinking with that Ford GT? They really ended up making a mess out of it. But like I said, I really had no experience with this Ferrari. I pro'd it for this video, so at least now I'm learning about it in the sense of, hey, at least it feels alright to drive. It's not terrible. And to be fair, it does kind of look cool. It's like I said, it's a very historically significant... Ooh, look at that acceleration. Well, I mean, it's not that it's amazing, but I did out accelerate just about everybody else. No, you... He started pushing me, but he actually ended up wrecking himself on me or something. Yeah, look, you know that I love racing cars, though I like more racing cars that have big wings and all of that, but that doesn't take away the fact that this is a historically significant car in automotive history and all that stuff, so there you go. Uh-oh, I'm out of nitro. Maybe the nitro wasn't as good as I thought. I need some nitro. Mother... I'm fine. I'm still 3rd place. I'm still gonna get some points. I still need nitro, though. Just a little bit. Respond there. All right, 3rd place ain't that bad, all right? I still think, listen, I haven't done the math I haven't checked the points really, like I said. I had a glance, but I did not sum or anything. I didn't add them up. So I really don't know, but I do believe that the Ferrari so far has the advantage. And if I keep a 3rd place, that's still going to be a pretty decent amount of points. Now, how close is this going to be? I don't know. And that is the beauty of this. I wanted to make it in a way also kind of like not super clear to me who was going to win. In fact, I have been thinking of even hiding the points in each one of the races, so that I cannot even start guessing by the midpoint of this whole thing. But I don't know, I think it's good for you to see where these points are coming from, how they're being calculated and all of that, so that there's no question as to, oh, DBT is just unfairly giving points to the cars I feel like, because that's not the point of this. But alright, this is going to be a 6-player race, and I got a 3rd place. And alright, I don't know how many points that is, but it should be a pretty okay amount. Yeah, what? Oh, wait a second. Oh, there were 7 players. Ooh. Well, that's actually even better with 7 players. Was it 7 or 6 players? I guess that's something that I need to consider. What happens if a player quits in the middle of a race? I guess it still counts, right? It should still count. Because he did race for a little bit. He just rage quit. So yeah, I'm going to count it for now as 7 players. Maybe the only point in which it would be different is if someone did not even connect. Like he disconnected at the very start of the race. For now, for the time being, I'm going to consider this a 7 race, 3rd place. I meant 7th racer and 3rd. And there are all of the points, so I guess it's time to check who actually won. And like I said, the points will be revealed once I enter something over here, so let's add PTS for points, and that is 1590 points for Ford and 1880 points for Ferrari, so that makes Ferrari the winner! Congratulations, Ferrari, that's another W. The first W, by the way, against Lamborghini doesn't count because that was the pilot. We'll have to revisit that at some other point. But either way, there it is. We got a winner for the roomy face-off between Ford and Ferrari. So there you go, a little bit of a revenge by Ferrari or something. If you enjoyed this video, once again, hit the like button. I do mean it, it helps the channel. And if you would like to support me directly, please consider joining the 𝐕𝐑𝐎𝐼 membership. You get access to exclusive videos and videos that come out early and whatnot. So go ahead, check it. That supports DBT directly, and that allows for DBT to continue making all of this stuff. So go ahead, please check it out. But alright, that's gonna do it for this video. Once again, if you enjoyed it, like button, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!